Rosi, the wild robot. In a galaxy not too far from our own, where robots serve, planets thrive, and adventures wait to be discovered, a remarkable journey is about to unfold. Meet Rosi, a robot unlike any other. With sleek chrome limbs, bright green digital eyes that shine with curiosity, and a heart programmed to protect, Rosi was built for a different world, a world of humans and technology. But fate had other plans. One stormy night, a malfunction tore Rosi from the safety of her ship and hurled her down to the strange, untamed world of Verda Prime. Here, towering alien trees sway like giants in the wind, bioluminescent creatures dance in the shadows, and nature has a mind of its own. And in this lush green wilderness, far away from anything she's ever known, Rosi must find her way, or be lost forever. As she explores the forest, battling tangled vines and looming threats, Rosi's polished metal begins to change. The forest seems to grow, around her, through her, within her. At first she resists, holding tight to the world she once knew. But when a fierce storm brings danger to the creatures around her, something inside Rosi shifts. No longer just a visitor, Rosi stands as a protector, a guardian. With every act of courage, every step through the undergrowth, Rosi's transformation deepens. Her chrome arms sprout vibrant green leaves. Her mechanical joints pulse with new life, and her very core merges with the essence of the forest itself. But Rosi's journey is far from over. When explorers from the stars arrive to strip the planet of its treasures, Rosi must make a choice: to fight for the world that has become her home, or to be taken back to the life she left behind. And so, she rises, not as a robot, not as a machine, but as something new, something wild. In this heart-pounding battle of nature versus technology, one thing is certain: the wild robot will not stand alone. Join Rosi on a tale of courage, transformation, and self-discovery. Experience a story where metal meets nature, where the unknown becomes home, and where a simple directive to protect and serve becomes a journey to protect and belong. This is the story of Rosi, the wild robot, a legend born in the heart of the forest.
Draggy and the Nighttime Forest Adventure, a brave dragon's journey. Draggy is a little dragon with bright orange scales and a brave heart. One night, when the moonlight illuminated the entire forest, Draggy decided that it was the perfect time for an adventure in the dark. Draggy had never explored the forest at night, and he was eager to see how everything looked when bathed in the moon's silver light. As he flew over the treetops, Draggy found everything magical: fireflies glowing like little stars, owls hooting hoo, hoo, mysteriously, and the tall shadows of trees stretching across the ground. But then, a strange sound came from deep within the forest, like the whistling of wind, but more mysterious. Curious, Draggy landed in a small clearing and listened. Suddenly, from behind a bush, a little squirrel jumped out with a worried expression. "Help! Help! Someone is trapped!" the squirrel exclaimed. Without hesitation, Draggy quickly followed the little squirrel toward the source of the strange sound. When they arrived, Draggy discovered a fawn caught in some forest vines, unable to free itself. Draggy immediately thought of a way to rescue the fawn. With his warm breath, he gently blew a small flame to cut through the vines without harming the little deer. After a few moments of effort, the fawn was free. The fawn gratefully thanked Draggy, and the little squirrel was relieved to see its friend safe. Draggy smiled, realizing that even though the forest might seem scary at night, with a courageous heart and a willingness to help, any adventure could become a memorable experience. From that day on, Draggy was not only a dragon who loved to explore, but also a hero of the forest, always ready to help friends in need, whether under the bright sunlight or in the magical darkness of the night. Squirry and the Giant Acorn, a heartwarming tale of friendship. A brown squirrel named Squirry lived in a vast forest. One day, while searching for food for the winter, Squirry stumbled upon a gigantic acorn lying beneath the shade of an old oak tree. Overjoyed, Squirry decided to take the acorn home to save it for the chilly winter days. However, there was a problem. The acorn was too big and couldn't be moved easily. Squirry tried to push, pull, and even roll the acorn, but nothing worked. As he pondered on what to do, an idea sparked in his mind. He would ask his forest friends for help. Squirry ran to meet Binky the rabbit, the chipmunk, and Robin the bird, telling them about the giant acorn he had found. All three friends were excited and agreed to help Squirry move the acorn. With everyone's combined effort, the acorn was finally pushed safely back to Squirry's home. Squirry was very happy, not only because he had a delicious acorn to store for winter, but also because he learned a valuable lesson. Sometimes, the most precious thing isn't what you have, but the friendship and mutual support you share. Squirry decided to share the giant acorn with his friends so that they could all enjoy this special gift together during the cold winter. The group of friends had a warm and joyful feast together, knowing that it was thanks to their friendship that they could overcome any challenge. From that day on, Squirry was always ready to help others, as he knew that sharing and unity are the most important things in life.
In a world that had forgotten how to laugh, there was a clown named Peepo. Thin and frail, but full of hope, Peepo wandered the busy streets, performing tricks and juggling dreams. But as the world changed, the laughter faded away, leaving Peepo searching for a place where joy could still bloom. One day, lost in his thoughts, Peepo wandered into a dense, dark forest. At first, it seemed like any other wood, but as the sun set, Peepo realized he was trapped in a maze of shadows, where nothing was as it seemed. The forest came alive, whispering his name and playing tricks on his mind. Peepo tried to perform to fight the fear, but the forest had its own games, turning his joy into dread. Strange creatures stalked him, mocking his every move. Despite his efforts, the forest pulled him deeper. Eventually, Peepo found a clearing with an old circus tent, now decayed like his own life. For a brief moment, he felt as though he was back on stage, but it quickly faded, and the forest reminded him he was still trapped. Peepo made one last attempt to escape, climbing a distant hill in search of freedom. But the forest was relentless, and Peepo, exhausted, fell, accepting his fate. Lying on the forest floor, he looked up at the sky, seeing the stars twinkling like stage lights, and imagined himself juggling one last time. The forest fell silent, leaving only the memory of the clown who fought to bring joy, but was ultimately lost in the darkened woods.